Welcome back to another episode of the Crypto Serpent. Are we in or are we out of a bull run? Put your comments in below. What are you thinking? Now, I'm going to give you some numbers. I'm going to give you some facts. I'm going to give you what is going on at the moment and what I think happened in the last 12 hours. But I want to know what you think. Are we in or are we out of a bull run? Is it the end? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your feedback. And thank you all so very much for the love and support that you show the channel. And every comment, I really enjoy every single one of you. Whether we agree or disagree on certain topics, it's always fantastic to see you participate in the community. So let's kick off with one particular good news. So Ripple announced its partnership with Egypt's largest bank. So I've mentioned how important it is to have more and more banks join the RippleNet and join the instant liquidity mission of Ripple. And so this is just another example of good news to come out on a day where you really struggled to find any good news at all yesterday. It was an incredible day in terms of what occurred. The volume, the FOMO, the fear. It was a day that we will remember. So we will remember the 19th of May for quite some time. And I do feel for those that joined in May or joined late April. You've come in at an extremely volatile time. And again, I mentioned this probably about a month ago. And this is the lesson, right? You actually don't have anything until you sell your profits. That is the truth. And that's why major FOMO and major fears occurred yesterday, is because you saw your virtual numbers on how much your current account is at plummet. And that is a lesson. One of the key lessons of yesterday is that until you take out profit, you actually have not made anything. It's actually zero. So that is a very valuable lesson that we all learned yesterday in this marketplace. So what do you guys think about this? This has been, forever and a day on YouTube. XRP people have been talking about, the day of a world currency, the day of, that one day there will be one world currency. I want to know in the comments what you think below about that. But right now, the key focus of today and the key focus of what is going on right now is what occurred yesterday, the volume in the way that it occurred, and what does it all mean? What went on? How did we get to this? Now, I know that quite a large number of people that I follow for research, they were calling a $30,000 Bitcoin about 4 or 5 weeks ago when nobody was talking about it. I personally believed that Bitcoin was going to go to 33, but as always, the market will always do even a little bit extra compared to an analysis. And so it was really fascinating to watch how ferocious it was to get down to 30. But is it a coincidence that people were mentioning already from 6 weeks ago that Bitcoin was going to hit 30, and then as soon as it hit 30, it bounced right back? I don't think it's a coincidence at all what occurred. And do I believe that we're out of a bull market? I don't believe we are out of a bull market by any stretch of the imagination. I think yesterday was a day of manipulating the market, of the whales gaining strength and gaining so much from yesterday. I mean, we have VeChain at 8 cents USD. I mean, that is insane. We haven't seen those numbers since like February. Now, why do I believe we're not out of a bull market? Well, the 0.01%, the whales, as we like to call them, check this out. I can't zoom in any further. See that? They're buying your fear. So you fear, panic, get out, and look what they do. They make moves, and they made a lot of moves. Now, how bad was yesterday? Let's talk about what happened and just how bad was yesterday. Well, I can tell you that 1.1 million people sold their crypto yesterday. That's how bad it was. That's how much fear was in the marketplace, and that is an astonishing number. That is an incredible number, and it really upsets me that so many people sold yesterday because if you hold, you don't lose, right? But as the emotions kick in and everyone's talking about all this kind of stuff, the fear kicks in. And when the fear kicked in, boom, they went all in on selling because they were worried about it going completely to zero. And I do feel for them. And if you were one of those people, I do really feel for you. But let me explain that it was a speed bump designed on purpose so the whales can get the best possible entry as Bitcoin now and the entire market continues to rally. And I do believe an $80,000, even $100,000 Bitcoin is possible before the end of this bull run. So for me personally, I do feel for you if you were one of those people that had so much stress over the last 12 hours. I have 100% empathy with you. It is not a good feeling, and these are very stressful times for a lot of people, and I don't take that lightly. So I'm with you all the way, and if there's anything that I can do, reach out, message. Would love to help, because I know that it hurts. It hurts. Now, when we jump into Atani, like, what is Atani telling us today in regards to what occurred and what happened? Where are we at in regards to to all of this? Well, at the time of starting to make this video, we were sitting at about $1.15, $1.17, and already we're dropping down again to like $1.08 at the time of making this. So where are we at? Like, what are the indicators? What are the indicators telling us, and what does it look like? Well, on the daily chart, we are approaching very fast. We're approaching the we're approaching, look, on the RSI, we're approaching the end of the bottom, like oversold. So we're not too far away from all this starting to change. Now, the other thing as well is that we can look at the Bollinger Bands, and we can see at the moment on the daily chart that we are completely out of the Bollinger Band. So it's really, really fascinating. On the MACD, we can see that these two lines, the blue and the orange, could not be closer at the moment. But we can see the blue starting to move away again. So there is a little bit more of down to go before we begin the rise again and continue to push forward. Now, if we look at the weekly from an RSI point of view and from an RSI point of view, from a MACD point of view, it paints a different picture, like a very, very different picture. Is painted at this particular level. So will we see 80 cents again? Will we see 88 cents again? We probably will, and maybe even dip just a tiny bit under it, like 78 cents, before the actual final break happens and we continue to rally forward. So it's important to zoom out because it tells you a lot what is going on. Now, on the 1 hour, we can see that the Bollinger Band is actually being followed really, really well. So by judging by that, like $1 or 98 cents, but judging by this, then that would occur. But what we can see is that on the RSI, we are in the oversold, but we're starting to bounce back a little bit. And on the MACD, the blue and the orange are starting to come back together. So patience, because we're not far away from this flipping and going back into positive. So it's really, really fascinating to look at these numbers, look at the hourly, look at the 2 hour chart, look at the daily, the weekly, and get a very, very good understanding of what is happening and why it's happening. Now, if we look at some of the charts, and history, history does repeat itself. Look, we take a look at this and we look at what's been happening in 2017 and 2021, and I think the opportunities are here, and I think the opportunities are very obvious of what has occurred and what is happening and how we're going to continue to rally and to push forward in this bull run. And so, for me personally, what I think is about to happen from a demand and what I think we will get to, I think we could potentially see one more time the 90s and the 93 cents, maybe even touch 89 before we start to begin the road to $14. And it is a very, very frustrating, if you're in a negative mindset at the moment about this whole thing and you've made up your mind that we're in a bear market. I understand that it's very frustrating to hear me talk like this and explain to you things like this, but these are the times, these are the days that we make the opportunities, and that the days like this will not come back again. And if we look at the XRP versus Bitcoin chart, we're testing that again, and once we test it and break out, we will be on the home stretch, as they say. So patience is the name of the game. I know that it is frustrating to hear someone being positive during a day of a lot of suffering, of a lot of pain, and a lot of losses. Like some people have lost in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. Day traders have been liquidated out. I understand, but I believe very strongly, and it's not financial advice, and I'm not a financial advisor, but I believe very strongly that this was done on purpose. We are far away from a bull run being over, and we're all looking patiently and very closely at the weekly candle of Bitcoin on Sunday night. If we're sitting at 46,000 on the Bitcoin on Sunday night, that we are still in a bull run, and I believe very strongly that that will be the case. Now, if you learned something new today, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Thank you all again for all the love, passion, and support that you show the channel, and I look forward to see you next time.